This is Steve Domenico from the Room Podcast with a very special guest. I got Chris Golden Gloves Sarro on, man, talking about making his debut for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships number 9, November 16th in Mississippi, brother. Dude, how you doing and how you feeling about this big opportunity fighting for the biggest craze in the United States right now, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship?
Oh, I feel amazing. It's literally like I'm walking around with goosebumps 24/7. Mostly because of what I'm going to do to John McAllister. Hires me up, man. I'm honored. I'm humbled, and I can't wait. Beloxi's coming right up. We're ready. We're putting in the work.
Excellent. My God, you're coming off your pro debut, an MMA pro debut, where you knocked out Raz Hilton at Neff in just a little over a minute with a one shot right hand, put him down, out cold. How did you get into the MMA? Because I know you have a boxing background that we'll talk a little bit about. But what made you go to MMA after having so many fights as an amateur boxer?
You see, I started in this whole the whole combat sports game under Marcus Davis and Garth Crane at Team Irish in Bangor back before MMA was even legal in the state. I'm talking 2008. 2009, around there. So I've been in this for a long time. The thing was, people can only find information on me in combat sports as a boxer, as an amateur boxer. That's where I started competing. But I had 4 solid years of putting in serious work in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And as well as boxing, I've always carried on training. I go to New York, I train at Gleason's, I go over to Evolution Muay Thai, and I put in time there. So I've always been putting in the work right along. So when we signed that fight, and they were talking as if I was purely a boxer, we were like, good. That's what we want them to think and stuff. But I can grapple with the best of them. I can wrestle with the best of them. And I can kickbox with the best of them. We didn't want to let that out there. I've been around long enough to know there's certain secrets it's good to keep. And so that was good. They thought they were going to surprise us. I took that fight knowing if you put 4-ounce gloves on my hands, my friend, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. Excellent. I've stunned everyone I've ever fought. I've stunned them all. There hasn't been one that hasn't liked it. And so I thought you put a 4-ounce glove on my hand, it ain't going to go over well. And we just went out there calm, excited, humble, open-minded, and we were prepared. So the knockout just came. It wasn't luck. You watch that fight, I was chasing it. Yeah. I saw that thing glistening in the lights, and I was working it closer and closer and closer. So it was just a matter of time. And it's just going to be the same thing in Beloxi.
Now, how did you get the opportunity with Bare Knuckle? I mean, was that something that you aspired to fight, seeing them, exploding all over the circuit? Was that something that you went, damn, I could really get into this and dominate in that sport?
Honestly, how it happened was about 2 years ago. A buddy of mine, I was working towards going for the Golden Gloves. A buddy of mine sent me a clip from BKFC9. I think Rico Rodriguez was the main event on that card. And he goes, Sarro, you could get into this. You could do this. My friend Johnny Davis, I grew up with him around here. He's Tim Sylvia's cousin. Yeah. So he knows the whole. Tim Sylvia's our guy from up here.
Yeah, big name. Big name in Tim Sylvia from
Right from this town. Yeah. Right from this high school in this town. 2-time heavyweight world champ. So I took, he planted the seed pretty much. And so I started messaging Dave Feldman. And Dave got back to me right off the bat. This was back when you could actually get a hold of Dave Feldman. And he goes, he was trying to get every commission in Casper, Wyoming, and Biloxi, Mississippi to allow me to fight without a pro fight. And just coming from amateurs, making my debut, because everyone in BKFC, the majority of them are crossing over from MMA or boxing. And I was going to be the first one making my debut, which still I kind of am one of the first making my debut. Like, I'm starting off in this sport. Mm-hmm. I do have my actual debut is for NEF, but in MMA, but I'm starting off in the sport. And so, David, it came down to my birthday last year, August 15th. David goes, I give you my word, because now you got to go through tryouts to get on their team.
Yeah.
in Philly and LA or whatever it is. And he goes, I give you my word, if you get one pro fight and you win, you beat that ass, we're gonna sign you. And so I moved back here from Lewiston back in June, and 2 days after being back, my ex-girlfriend said she'd believe me if I ever signed the contract, so I left her and I signed the contract. And life's been freaking great ever since.
Well, there you go, man. You walk into Neff, you knock out you knock out basically, their guy there. You know what I mean? Ross. I mean that's Neff is his world. You go in there and you take him out. Now, did Dave from BK, did he message you like the next day going, all right, brother, you did the work.
Yeah.
The word is there, you're in. Like how'd that conversation go?
The first person I messaged when I got out of the ring and got to my phone was David saying, first round, first punch, first minute. And he said, we'll talk Monday. You got the deal, 3-fight deal. I'm the first ever signed bare knuckle boxer professional from New England. All in New England history, the first one ever. So there'll never be another number one. So we're bringing a lot to Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's not just Ellsworth. We're bringing the whole Northeast. Yeah, it's going to be good.
And Chris, you speak about the whole Northeast. You have the whole Northeast on your side because, you talk about you weren't just a guy that just came on the circuit. A lot of people know you behind the scenes, coaches, everything, Marcus Davis, what you talked about. So when you had that knockout, people weren't surprised. They were just waiting for the explosion to come after, which happened. You got management, you're getting sponsors, you're getting a whole bunch of media, you're getting a big shot for BK with a fight deal. Dude, man, how does that feel to have that backing? And, we love it. Being in New England, I mean, we don't have, bare knuckle is not something that, we know too much about in this area. And one of our big stars now going there to represent is huge. How is all that feeling, and how are you dealing with all the success and just all the eyes on you right now?
It was a little adjustment period in the beginning, but honestly, man, I'm 31. This has been my dream since I was 7 years old, to get to fight on the global level and trade hands with the best in the world. I'm fighting on the same card as Phil Baroni.
Yeah.
When he knocked Dave Manet out, I started training. You know what I'm saying? So, now I'm on the same card as him, in the same weight class as him. Who knows what the future holds? It's all a dream, man. It's literally, before this fight with Ross, I was this close. I lost my best friend, and it was low. It was a dark time. And 2 weeks later, right before, right this close to just say, I'm done with this, throw the towel in. I knock Ross out, and all respect to Ross Hilton. He's a very respectful, honorable martial artist, and he's a top contender. Yeah. I don't want anything taken away from him. He's a tough dude. That could happen to any of us. Yeah. But I was this close to throwing in the towel, and I didn't. I went out there and believed that I could do this, because they brought me in as an underdog. There's no question about that. He had 4 first-round knockouts. All his wins came by first-round finishes, and I took him out first punch. And so it sparked this kind of storm that took over up here, and there was a little bit of adjustment period because everything I do is under a microscope now. And but I love it, man. I'm honored, and I'm just I'm enjoying every second of it. Excellent. We just got back from Lynn, Massachusetts. I mean, we go down there and we're sparring with Terry Johnson and Zach Cullum at Private Jewels Boxing. Those guys are quality boxers, quality strikers, heavyweights, big boys. And we're going down there and we're putting in the work. And I couldn't feel any better. I couldn't be any more confident going to Mississippi. But we want to make sure, sponsorships and attention, that's not what I'm in this thing for. Yeah. But it's nice to have that there. I want to make sure I'm prepared. So when I get to Mississippi, there's no questions. I know I did every single damn thing I needed to be ready. And that's what we're doing by going down to Boston and going with the big boys and stuff like that. We're getting in the work. But I don't have to leave here. Yeah. I can stay here in my hometown. We go get the work, we come back, we condition, I'm a machine up here, man. All I do is eat, train, and sleep. And we got fresh air and mountains and black bears, and it's all good.
Excellent. Now you speak about, getting the work in. Now the last the last fight you had, you were preparing, had to be well-rounded because, you never know if Ross is going to shoot in. And you had to sharpen your game for all the tools. Now you just have to concentrate on the boxing aspect. Where you getting this work, and what are you adding in? Because is this something? Have you ever bare knuckle boxed in the past? I mean, probably street fights and stuff like that. But have you had any experience with that? And what are your expectations about it compared to boxing that you've done basically your whole amateur career?
Right. For me, I mean, I'm nothing but respectful. I'm not a punk or anything like that. But I'm coming from a pretty rough background. I was a bouncer in this town for 3 years. I laid my hands on a lot of people in that time. So this isn't all. I mean, we're not talking same level of competition, obviously. But like the human skull isn't going to be foreign to these babies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we know what it feels like from all angles, the good and the bad. This thing's been stove up pretty good over the
You got an extra knuckle on there, Chris.
Yeah, she's barely on there. No, it's all good. It's nothing. There's nothing that John McAllister's going to bring to the table that I haven't seen in my last 11 years. Going from every gym up here in the Northeast, from Gleason's to Ring One, Wyman's Boxing, the Cugnos Boxing, Portland Boxing Club. I've brought them all here. I've gone there. There's nothing this guy, and all the respect to him, we're taking him dead serious. We're coming out like he's the number one, and we got to take that head, and we're gonna. I mean that all respect for my opponent. I don't wish harm against anyone, but we're not here. We're not here. We're not selling Bibles. we're here to get busy.
He might need one at the end of that, in that fight when you laid it on him, Chris. You know what I mean? You never know. The gentleman you speak about is John McAllister. He's a pro MMA fighter. He's got a few MMA fights under his belt, so he's been there. He's a veteran. He's going to be going in there and banging. It's going to be a new experience for him. I don't know his background as far as, what he's done other than MMA. Is there tape to study him? Is there anything? Do you watch this guy, or you just go in there and, you implement your game and the fight is going to him?
Yeah, see, there's not much tape on John, and that's fine. I think I saw a video of him swimming underwater. I have no idea, and I'm not saying that making fun of the guy. If anything, that's smart. You don't want a lot of tape on you. Some of the best players out there in the game right now, good luck finding any footage on them, sparring or anything, unless they fight on PBC or HBO or something. Good luck finding footage on these good guys. They're smart like that. So I'm treating this guy like he's the best fucking fighter, excuse my language, in the world. And I haven't found much tape on him. So all I'm doing is, I have a lot of years in the sport. I know what preparation means. I've learned under some of the best. I've learned Heather Hardy, Devin Cormick, Marcus Davis, some of these guys, Chad Dawson and Brian down at Ring One in New Haven, bad Chad Dawson. I've seen the best of the best and what preparation calls for. And so we're just making sure we're prepared. We're fresh. I can go out and run 7 miles at a fast pace right now at a 6:30-mile clip with sprints. And then I can come back here and work 4 hours in this gym, killing it on that. And we're doing rope ladders, medicine balls, elastic bands, kettlebells, battle ropes. My body, I couldn't be in any better shape right now. So that's why I say God bless this guy, because I'm not looking to send anyone to the hospital. But I'm coming in here to do nothing but absolutely dominate. And that the odds are he's probably going to the hospital.
Excellent. Well, he's going to need that Bible, Chris. So
I'll bring an extra one for him.
Hey, you should bring one. You should bring one out into the weigh-ins. Give it to him.
Yeah, absolutely. No, God bless him.
Yeah, dude, he's a competitor. He's getting in there, and it's it's a great sport. People, I mean, it's blowing up. You know what I mean? Dave talks about they kicked him out of MMA, so he created his own sport. And it is thriving. What
an accomplished, that guy's brilliant. Whatever he's doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
And it's happening quick for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may be a hard man to get a hold of, but it totally makes sense when you're every day you're signing someone new. Hector Lombard, Vanderlei Silva, you got Fabricio Verdum on every video.
Yeah.
He's doing something right. And just to throw this in there, you probably know a bit about the beef between Crazy Horse and Vanderlei Silva.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So now Charles Bennett signed to this next card.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
I think David's trying to put.
You never know. Hey, and you know what? This is definitely a great place for Bennett, Crazy Horse, to get into bare knuckle. He's going to be on the same card. I mean, dude, what does that feel like? I mean, the excitement's enough. You got to deal with them. You're making your debut with them. What is it like to have all them faces that you watched in MMA growing up, and just gonna be in that same card as you, man? Boom!
It's an honor. It's beyond an honor, but it's like I'm no fanboy though. I'll take the time to really appreciate this when I'm all done with this career. But as of right now, we're going down there and we're all business partners. Yeah. We all work for the same organization, and it's work. It's grind time. And but no, it's an honor. I mean, like I said, Phil Baroni and Dave Monet, when he knocked Dave Monet out, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find this gym of Marcus's and we're gonna do this thing. Yeah. Was that knockout? And he said, if you're in the sixth row, watch out. That's where his jaw's gonna be by the end of the fight. I always remember these lines and stuff. So to get to be on the same card as someone as Phil Baroni, Crazy Horse Bennett. I've been watching these guys forever. Just to be the main events, Artem Lobov and Jason Knight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the rematch, the most highly viewed fight of all time. I'm beyond honored. But I'm not going to show up there a fanboy. I'm going to show up there and we're going to get to work. We're putting this place on the map. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, man. Well, New England's all behind you here, Chris. Last couple of things before I let you do shout-outs and all that good stuff. We got what, a little around 3 weeks left until you make your way there, man. There's still a lot of time, still a lot of training going on, but what's going on right now in your training? Is it peaking right now, or what's going on right now with it?
Honestly, because the last fight was only 67 seconds long, we got right back to training about a little, like 9 days after that last fight. And I felt I was peaking 2 weeks in because we're just getting better and better and better every day, it seems, because we haven't had any back steps right now when it comes to staying fit and getting in preparation. But right now, I mean, we just got some hard sparring down in Lynn, City of Sim there, and we're back now. We're gonna focus on conditioning all week. I got to start my weight cut right now. We got some weight we're cutting. We're pretty big right now, but we're gonna come in 206 on the dot. If not 205, I'll probably shoot for 205. But I have never missed a weigh-in in my life. I'm always right to the 100th. That's what fires me up, man. So we're gonna come there fresh and shape. So pretty much right now, it's just sharpening iron, man, sharpening all our weapons and making sure everything's loaded. So when we get to Mississippi, we feel fresh. We're just ready to explode. It's good. We're good. Excellent. It's the best shape of my life right now. Excellent. I can comfortably say that. No bullshit. Like best shape.
Well, BKFC is going to know you're coming. Is going to know New England's coming, because that pay-per-view card is gonna fly. There's gonna be a lot of sales going on in New England to watch you work in there, man. Last thing, Chris, before I let you go, man, I'll give you shout outs and your last words on this fight and what's gonna happen on the 16th.
All right. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to Bring It Bait, Ben Durkee out there in Goldsboro, the Sea Dog Brewery. I mean, this place has been great since day one, taking care of fighters. Furrows Concrete, MXA Fitness, that's my brother-in-law, Nick Sarro, John Morse. That's their gym here in Ellsworth. They just opened up. That's where we're doing our whole camp. We're bringing these guys up here. They're coming here to train out this facility. State-of-the-art place. If you're in Ellsworth, Maine, MXA Fitness is the place to be. You can watch me finish my camp before we fly out to Mississippi. Right Way Auto, Chad Linehan, his father John Linehan's also a big supporter. They know me my whole life, and they've been a big support for this fight. Sinclair Builders, Randy Sinclair's in my corner. You know, my best friend, brother, Jake Sinclair, he's the whole reason why I'm in this game, man. He's been he wanted his whole life. We just went back and forth about what this career would be like. And so I know he's shining down. He gave me that right hand that night. I could feel him in me and stuff. So he's with me this whole journey. His little boy's right here while I'm talking. You know, that's big support, big shout out to everyone in the Sinclair family. And then we got Eastern Mold Remediation, the Tracy brothers, Andy Tracy, Jordan Tracy, and their father. I've been friends with them my whole life. Great support. They show me nothing but support. Fairway Auto, Tony Murray, someone else. That's what's nice about this small town, man. It's the support and the love I felt is surreal. Compared to, say, I was coming out of New York or something where I got to compete with all these other, you feel the love around here. It's awesome. So we got Tony Murray at Fairway Auto, right up the street from here. All good, honest people. If you're looking to get a car or a truck or van, I stand behind these people. These are good people. Life Vantage, Pro Tandem, supplement I take. It's great for reduces the damage on my cells and keeps me fresh and healthy. And I'm waking up 31, not feeling like shit every day. It's good stuff. I stand by it. I take it. I stand by it. And everyone, my manager Travis Lazat, he's been nothing but great to me. He's taken the load off my back. You know, he's the man's got a gift with words, and he's just a great guy. He loves the sport, so it's a good person to have in my corner. And my head coach, Lehman Hodgkins, I tell you what, man, if it wasn't for Lehman, I wouldn't be here. He keeps me sane. He keeps me happy and loving and enjoying what I'm doing. You know, I couldn't ask for a better friend and a better coach. He's there in my corner no matter what. He's known me 11 years. Through the good and the bad, he's never turned his back on me. He's always been there. I got a good team behind me, my whole family. All my friends, you know, I got a small circle, but I love them all. And if it wasn't for any of them, I would not be here. It's the truth. First round, I'm going to punch this dude's head out of the friggin' arena. He's not going to like it. Everyone back in West Virginia, wherever he comes from, they're going to feel it. And I mean that with all respect, but I'm not coming here to play around. We're not coming to slap high fives and hug and kiss on the cheek. I'm coming to hit him 1,000,000 times as hard and as fast as I can and bulldozer this guy. And I mean that with all respect. I know that sounds weird, but that's what we train to do, man. So it's going to be good. I call it, it's going to be a knockout no matter what. We're coming home with the bonus. Everyone's getting Nikes for Christmas.
Well, it sounds great, my friend. Hey, Chris, a pleasure to talk to you, man. You're a hell of a guy, hell of a fighter. Man, down to earth, man. Tell it like it is. And you're representing us, going to Bare Knuckle FC #9, November 16 in Beloxi, Mississippi, on the biggest card of Bare Knuckles. Yeah, brother. Thanks so much, Chris, man. We'll see you on the other side, and we'll talk and see what's next for you, bro.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter. It was awesome. It's good talking with you. Anytime, buddy.
We out.